I'm going to show you Mexico City's most overlooked museum, a hotspot for street tacos, plus a 100-year-old bakery just around the corner. Follow me. Hey, it's Sarah. I've lived in Mexico for 10 years and I am your guide to authentic experience in Mexico. Make sure you grab my Explore Mexico City cheat sheet down below. So what is this famed overlooked museum in Mexico City? The Museum of Mexico City, of course. Story time. One day as I was scurrying along the streets of Mexico City in search of rain boots with my husband, I ran in to the Museo de la Ciudad de México. I couldn't believe that I had been in Mexico City for years and I'd never even heard of this place. It's absolutely worth a visit and it is close to many of the places I have already told you to visit in the Centro Histórico. So let's jump into the streets of Mexico City to check it out. We are on our way to the Museum of Mexico City and this is inside the metro. We're at Metro Zócalo, Tenochtitlan. But there's so many exits, I want to show you exactly where to come out so that you're getting the closest you can. So over here, there's like a Ciber Centro, that's like an internet cafe. And then back behind me is the exit. There's my husband, there's Eliu, Spanish teacher. This is the exit that you want. I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen so you can see it correctly. So you're going toward the Supreme Court to get there, okay? That's the exit that you want from Zócalo, Tenochtitlan. So we are exiting Metro Zócalo, Tenochtitlan. This is the exit that says Salida, that means exit. Supreme Court, Suprema Corte de Justicia. And you're going to see these pictures when you come. And here we are. So we're going to come up the stairs. Now, this is not the only metro you can use. You can also go out the metro Pino Suarez. I will put these names on the screen for you. But I find that this is the easiest and the least walk. Okay, so let's take a look where we are. This is the Supreme Court, Suprema Corte de Justicia. You just came out the metro here. We're gonna spin around and just take a quick look. Here's the metro. And here's Zócalo. If you'd like to check out Zócalo, check out some of my other videos where I mentioned Zócalo. Back in this corner is the Aztec Temple Museum, which we saw in a previous video. And today, we're walking down this street. It's called Pino Suarez, just like the metro. We're gonna walk behind us, so let's turn around. There seems like there's some sort of protest, so there's always. We're gonna go this way a few blocks, so let's go. Here in front of the Museum of Mexico City, believe that this serpent stone was taken from the original Aztec Templo Mayor and placed on the corner outside the museum. We have a mural, which we'll see in a minute. This street is where Hernán Cortés, the conquistador, met the emperor, which the lovely guides are telling me was Moctezuma. This is a mural of Moctezuma meeting Hernán Cortés, which happened actually very close to the Museum of Mexico City. The Museum of Mexico City was constructed or completed in 1779, and it was originally the home or the palace of some of the descendants of the conquistadors that were along with Hernán Cortés. These are the original doors. This is where they kept the horses back when they had carriages and horses. So these are the original doors here. And off to the left, eventually we'll get in there and we're going to see some of the carriages from the time period. They were not originally in the palace here, but there's some of the time period carriages back then. As of the 1960s, the Mexico City government took possession of the Museum of Mexico City and made it into the Museum of Mexico City. It's very affordable. It's only 40 pesos, which is about $2 currently, $2 US. And you can get free guided tours, which I did do. However, they are only in Spanish. And the Museum of Mexico City also has constantly rotating temporary exhibits like this one. This is an exhibit of abstract art that was part of the tour today. I really enjoyed that. This is a mural of what the Mexico City area used to look like. If we get in close here, we can see some of the details. This looks a lot like it's supposed to be the Aztec Templo Mayor. So remember, the original name of Mexico City was Tenochtitlan, and this is the Templo Mayor, and this is the ruins. You can see the ruins of this. And my other video about 24 Hours of Mexico City, I went into this museum and saw the ruins. I do know that what we're looking at here is a representation of Lake Texcoco, which Mexico City has filled in, and that's why the city is sinking. Something else I'm loving about this museum is it's just so quiet. When you're in Mexico City for a while, you really miss a little bit of quiet. It's so nice. One of the great things about coming on a weekday to a museum here in Mexico City is look how many people there are. Yes, this is a rarity in Mexico City, but also I kind of find this museum is really chill. So it's a really nice spot to come. It's so easy to pop in here. You could probably get in and see everything in an hour. I mean, it's not huge, but the building itself is definitely worth the stop. So please, when you're in Mexico City, pop on over to Museo Ciudad de Mexico. This is the first time I've ever seen it, and it is absolutely worth it. Even if you just come to see the building, it is so cool. It's a very relaxing stop, very affordable, and it's a quick spot where you can pop in and enjoy yourself. Do you want to learn conversational Spanish, but you're too busy to schedule live classes? Pop to senorserasclassroom.com to book flexible conversational Spanish lessons via voice messaging. For the next top thing to see in Mexico City, I have to ask you, what is the first thing that pops into your head when I say Mexico? For most people, that's probably tacos, and no, I don't mean Taco Bell. And if you've never had a taco in Mexico City, amigo, you've never had a taco in your life. There's an infinite number of amazing taco spots in Mexico City, from just pop-up stands and food stalls to baskets on the corner to actual sit-down restaurants. Of course, I can't possibly take you to all of them, but there is a taco for everyone in Mexico City. Yes, there are even vegetarian tacos. Vegan tacos are going to be a little bit harder, but they exist. But remember, I like to make my itineraries as walkable for you as possible to maximize your enjoyment of your days in Mexico City. So today we're going to go to a spot just around the corner from the Museo de la Ciudad de Mexico called Los Cocuyos. You can't go to Mexico without getting some tacos. So we're going to go to Los Cocuyos and get some tacos at a place that I think is fantastic if you are a non-Spanish speaker. Also, we just love the tacos. Outside, you've got the menus posted, so it's easy to tell the prices and what there is on hand to eat. But also, this place has the menu in English and Spanish, which is wonderful. You never have a question about what you're getting. Check out the taquero making the tacos outside. That is the al pastor, which we will be eating in just a second. Tacos al pastor is the best taco in the world. There is no competition. Except maybe the gringa, which is basically the same thing, but with cheese included. Are you feeling a little bit confused about all the names of the different foods in Mexico? Remember to grab my Explore Mexico City cheat sheet down below. In it, among many other things, I list several Mexican foods along with Americanized explanations of them so you know what you're going to order when you visit Mexico City. One of the top things that you cannot miss in Mexico City is that century-old bakery that I promised back at the beginning, La Ideal. I gotta be honest, I am not a fan of most Mexican pastry. Now, to be fair, most of it is probably not supposed to be pastry. They call it pan dulce, and the taste is just different. People in Mexico don't like things as sweet as Americans do. I still love my sugar. So this is probably a really unpopular opinion, but I find most pan dulce just extremely dry and boring. For most of it, I think they just use the same dough and just put it in different shapes, put a new color on it, and call it something else. The concha, for example, That being said, if someone gives me a concha, I will eat it. I mean, look at me. I don't look like the kind of person that turns down food. Mexican friends, please don't come at me. Oh, and comment below the video, please, if you are enjoying this. Even if it's just one word, even if it's just, hey, every single comment really helps. Now, I know I just said I'm not usually a fan of Mexican pastry or pan dulce, but La Ideal is an exception. There's a reason this place has been around for 100 years. And guess what? It's only a 15-minute walk from the museum and a 5-minute walk from our taco spot that we were just at. So, vámonos. Welcome to the Ideal Bakery. This bakery is something like 100 years old. And we're going to take a look around. You can get your sandwiches, also empanadas. You can also get a variety of cakes. Beautiful. And so here at the Ideal, as you can see the folks with the pans, you got to get yourself a pan. This is a very common Mexican bakery thing. Get yourself a pan and pick out what you want. And then you take it up and you pay for it, and they package it for you. So the quality of the pastries here at the Ideal is unparalleled. I mean, there's a reason why they've been around for 100 years. So admittedly, it is a little bit chaotic in here, but I'm trying to be discreet. I did not ask for permission to record. I don't intend to. But I was told that you got to go over to the, this is the area where you're going to get your, these are called charrolas. Charrola blanca, white tray. This is what you got to do to get your bread. So let's see if I can actually do this while filming. So let's go. Let's get something. So like I said, you got to pick it out, and then you take it up and they wrap it, and then they give you a ticket, a receipt, and then you pay for it. So that's what you do here at the Ideal. I'm just looking for something that, you know, hits what I'm looking for. So let's walk around. So this is what I mean. You got to get in line with your tray, and they will box up your treats for you. So that's step one. And then they're going to give you a receipt, and then you take that and you go to the booth. All right, so you get this ticket that tells you how much you pay. The ladies are kind of cranky, I'm going to be honest. And then you come over here to these little booths. You take this, you pay. But the women are kind of cranky. I mean, they're busy all day, but they are cranky. Here at the Ideal, you can also get Jello, but look at this Jello. Like, it's got fruit. It's beautiful. So that's something else you can get. You can also get whole cakes. So that's something else you can order here at the Ideal. Let's take a look at those real quick because I've got my bread, my pan dulce. Pan dulce means sweet bread. Like I said, they do it right here at the Ideal. It's so good. So you can also get individual size, like pretty and delicious little Jellos. Check it out. Super good, super pretty. And you can get the full size one if you want like the party platter. And those prices are all listed. And so if you want one of those, you got to come up and ask for it here at the counter, which is what these folks are doing. If you want full-size cakes and pies, you can order those over here. Look how pretty those look. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. They really know what they're doing here. We have just left the Ideal bakery. So good, right? Good. And I got a donut I already bit. Very good. But this is the donut. Oops, there goes the nuts. And it's a maple donut, and it is so good. Let's try it a little bit on camera. It's delicious. I don't like donuts most of the time in Mexico, but this is good. La Ideal, yes, you have to visit. Now, the tacos, the museum, the pastry, it was all amazing. But in order to get to those places, you're gonna have to know how to use public transportation in Mexico City. So make sure you watch this next video about the Metrobus in Mexico City right after you subscribe.